When it comes to actually figuring out what to do with your life, one of the most common things that I see is confusion. So many people have been raised with so much influence around them, whether it be from family members or social media. Quite often, because we're so inundated with influence, it's really hard to be able to connect inwards and figure out exactly who we are and what we truly want. This is why so many people struggle to find a business or a career that lights them up, because they're just simply taking on too many other people's advice before they learn to listen to themselves. Everybody's trying to rush towards success. However, if you miss this first crucial step in your own life personal development, you will forever be testing new things that just don't feel right because you haven't built the foundation for who you are first. This video is actually the third video in my Upgrade Your Confidence to Upgrade Your Life series, and particularly what I want to do is help you to figure out what you should be doing with your life from a career or a business perspective. I know so many people follow me here because of my own journey as an entrepreneur. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see all of the behind the scenes of my business and how I have built up my online empire and this community. And I know so many women are inspired by that and they want to have this kind of freedom lifestyle for themselves, whether it be through a career or whether it be through your own business. But the reality is, I know so many people don't have the confidence to just dive in and start something for themselves, or they simply just don't know how to figure out what's that one thing that they could be so passionate about that they can do for the rest of their lives. It's really about helping you to dig deep introspectively so you can find something that you're ultra inspired by to build a career or a business out of. So my first piece of advice when it comes to how to actually figure out what to do with your life from a career or a business perspective is figure out who you are first. I've always been such an advocate for people taking a gap year after university or a gap year after high school even, of traveling the world when it was obviously possible, but just taking a period of time to learn what you like, learn what turns you on, learn what your values are, learn what you're inspired by, learn the type of people you enjoy spending your time with, learn the types of hobbies that you get lit up by. The more that you get to know yourself on a deep personal level, the easier it is going to be for you to find a career that suits you. Again, it's so easy to just get encapsulated with what everybody else is doing or what's popular or what you think success looks like. But all of this is incredibly unsustainable. If you go into a career, even if you become successful financially, you may end up burnt out or miserable or unfulfilled if it wasn't something you were truly passionate about. Or vice versa, maybe you go into something that you think you're passionate about, but it's just unsustainable because that passion doesn't last. Maybe it's just something you're interested in intermediately. Spending the time to truly get to know yourself, who you are on the inside, and like I said, what turns you on, what lights you up, what makes you feel alive. Spending that time through travel, through experimentation, just spending time alone is really going to help you not only be able to better connect with your intuition, and I will tell you that intuition inside of you will give you so many answers about what to do with your life. It will also just help you to build up your confidence and allow you to get to know yourself better so you'll be able to make better decisions about how to spend the rest of your life. There are a couple things that you can think about when you're going on a journey to get to know yourself, and it really is about following your emotions rather than your thoughts. When I'm trying to get to know myself and know what I like, what vibe I want for my life, I simply just ask myself, what are things that I get motivated by? What are the things that give me those like tingly feelings inside? That sounded creepy, but you know what I mean? Like, what are the things that when I watch them or listen to them just make me feel like I could take action? Another indicator for me is, what are the things that I'm jealous of? You know, when I'm scrolling on social media, who are the people that I'm envious of and what do they do with their life? What does their life look like? It's complicated, but it's quite simple to distinguish between jealousy from an inspired perspective and jealousy from a self-conscious perspective. If the emotion associated with that experience is negative, then you're probably feeling self-conscious, like inadequate. That's not a path to follow. But if you're feeling jealous but also feeling like expanded, like there's possibility in there, then that's a reason for you to explore that a little bit more, because maybe something in that person is something you can see in yourself, a possibility that you can see for you. And ultimately, the biggest question that you can ask yourself is just, what makes me happy? You know, I know for me, what makes me happy is helping people, being connected to people, seeing women do epic badass shit in the world. That's just what lights me up. That's what gets me into flow. And I figured that out through getting to know myself and getting to know what makes me feel the best. So before you even think about trying out a new career or starting a new business, honestly, it is more efficient and more productive to take the time to actually get to know yourself before you start asking yourself, what is it that I actually want to do? The second thing that you need to do is that you need to build up the courage to try things without the fear of judgment. The reality is, most women that I know aren't starting the business or the career of their dreams because they're so worried about what everybody else around them is going to think of them. Are people going to judge me if I want to be on social media? Mock me if I want to start a business? So many people have these debilitating thoughts that just hold them back from taking action. And so you have to work on overcoming that fear. Because ultimately the next step in the piece of the puzzle is really starting to experiment with things, which we'll talk about in just a second. But I've seen so many women not even get to that phase because they're just so paralyzed by the fear of judgment, by the fear of what other people are going to think. Fear of like even what strangers on the internet are going to think. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You're not going to live your best life because of some rando on the internet. You have to work on overcoming your fear of judgment. I actually have a free workbook that you can download. It's totally free. It is called the Killer Confidence Bible. I will leave it linked in the description below. This is a workbook that ultimately is focused on this exact topic, helping you to overcome the fear of others so you can take massive action in your life. Just go out there and start building your own sense of self-love, self-worth, and self-confidence, because when you do this, that is ultimately going to help you to not worry so much about what other people think and take action on the things that are actually going to move you forward to being able to figure out what you want to do with your life. Which brings me to the next step. And this is honestly the most crucial step in the puzzle, right? You've done the work to start figuring out what turns you on, what lights you up, what inspires you, what motivates you, what are you jealous by, what are you expanded by? And you've started working on your fear of judgment. The next step is that you have to be okay with a period of experimentation. I know that there's so much pressure in today's society to be successful quickly. I think that there's so much misconception around what success actually looks like, how long it takes, how long it should take in order to be sustainable. With so many people just reducing their patience, you know, everyone with Amazon Prime and with on-demand video, like everybody's patience is just minuscule. Our attention span is minuscule, and therefore we want success today. We want it yesterday, to be honest. The reality is it doesn't work like that. The most sustainable, successful people, that is a tongue twister. The most sustainable, successful people have usually gone on quite a long journey of experimentation, taking their desires and passions and dreams and goals for a test ride. Because again, I see so many people hurrying towards success that they'll almost choose anything. It's like desperation. It's like jumping into whichever relationship just comes first. You've got to raise your standards a little bit more, and you've got to be okay with going on dates with your dream career, testing it out a little bit, and when things don't serve you, it's okay to let it go. But you have to be okay with this process of experimentation. What's the rush? This is your life. You don't have to have everything yesterday. When you're thinking about your dream career, you know, you're thinking about something that you have to do. Everybody has to work. That's just reality. That's just being an adult. Why not do something that you thoroughly enjoy? But to get to the point where you do something you thoroughly enjoy, you have to test things out. Testing things out will also give you an indication of whether you have skills in this particular area, whether your skills are increasing in this particular area, whether you even have passion in this particular area. You've got to try things out. And the way to do that is to just start. Just start if you say you want to start a business in the area of life coaching. Just start creating content online and see if you enjoy doing the research, speaking about it. If you maybe want to go into a career in marketing, do an internship. Just test things out, take courses, work with coaches, consume content on the internet. And if you can't consume like 5 to 10 videos in a row, then you're probably not that passionate. But that brings me to my next point as well. And honestly, this one is so key. Don't be afraid to let things go. I think one of the biggest things that hold people back from even starting, like starting a business or applying for the job of their dreams, is what if it doesn't work out? What are people going to think of me if I quit this business or if I look for another job? Who cares? This is your life. Do you want to be doing something for the rest of your life that you don't enjoy? Or do you want to be holding yourself back from success because you're afraid that you might quit? Who cares? If you don't enjoy something, it's not the end of the world. I know so many stories of successful entrepreneurs, and so many of them tried so many different things before they truly got to the one thing that was right for them. But that means they had to quit. They had to give up on all of those things prior to that. There's nothing wrong with quitting things. You want to test out playing an instrument and you realize you don't enjoy it? Quit it. You want to start learning a language and you realize it's just not for you? Quit it. Honestly, there's no point spending the short amount of time that you have here on this planet doing things that you don't enjoy. And that especially comes down to your career. There's so much opportunity available to us. It's not like it was once where there's few careers available, especially for women, and you've just got to take your pick and suck it up and enjoy it. There is literally an abundance of opportunity. You can do anything that you want to do, like literally anything. You could probably make a career out of it, anything within reason. But you could pretty much make a career out of anything. Maybe underwater basket weaving is like not so popular, maybe one day. But for now, pretty much anything you desire to do. You know, you want to teach people stuff on the internet, you want to sing, you want to pursue music, you want to be an actress, make a YouTube channel. Like there's just so many things that you can do and very few gatekeepers standing in the way. But it's okay to test things out and to not enjoy them and to just be okay with this sustainable journey of trying and failing and giving up and trying something else until you find the thing that just works for you. Now, of course, within that, there needs to be a certain level of resilience, which is my last and final point. You can't just quit on things immediately because they don't work. I've spoken about this extensively on my Instagram, which again, if you want more behind the scenes business content, definitely come and follow me over there. But there's a big difference between disinterest and apathy and fear. When something's not working out or when you're just disinterested in it, you will have a general sense of apathy. You'll realize that this is just not for me. It's not lighting me up. It's not serving me. I don't really care that there are other people successful in this industry. They don't bother me. That is when you know that maybe it's time to let that thing go. And again, that's okay. But you've also got to weigh that up with, am I sabotaging because I'm being lazy or because I've got fear that I'm not going to be successful? If truly in your heart you can feel that you still really want something, but your mind is telling me, it's not really my vibe, that's a different story altogether. And of course, you need to go back to your personal development work to keep sticking at it. If your heart and your intuition is telling you something like, I truly want my life to look like X, I want to be in this career, I want to have this business, and the people that are succeeding in this area, gosh, they inspire me, but I also am kind of jealous, like all of that, then you've got to build your personal resilience. Success does take time. Take it from me, someone who's been on the internet creating content for over 6 years now, who has been in my business for 4 years, who's been doing marketing and social media since 2013. I promise you that success and good sustainable success, it does take time. You just have to build your resilience. You're going to go through a process of learning. You go into your dream career. You may have to learn new systems, getting along with new people, being in a new environment, and that will take time for you to adjust and get good at what you do. If you're starting a business, maybe you have to start from ground zero and you've got no audience and no customers. You've got to be okay with just going along with that journey. I think we're all so desperate for success to be this like instant thing, but it's just not how it works, nor do you want it to work like that. Because a lot of people who achieve success too fast burn out too quick and then have to start from scratch. So be okay with the journey. Be okay with the process of experimentation and be okay with the period of time where you're learning and growing, maybe feeling like you're speaking to no one, because there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody who's been successful has been there. It's all about experimentation. Really, at the end of the day, get to know who you are, what you want, what lights you up, what motivates you, what you desire. Spend the appropriate amount of time that you need. Don't rush this stuff, okay? You don't rush anything else in life, relationships or anything. Don't rush this. This is a big decision to make. Get to know yourself, go through the process of self-development so you overcome the fear of judgment, go through a period of experimentation, test things out. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to quit on things, but build your resilience. This is how you're truly going to figure out what to do with your life. You know, all of the tips and advice that are like, go on Pinterest, go on this, like they're helpful to a certain degree, but this is the nitty-gritty of what is truly going to help you to figure out what is the best life path for you in the area of career and business. habits. And remember, it all comes back to having the confidence to just take action. If you did enjoy this video, I would of course very much appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. And if you are new around here, why not consider subscribing? I am doing a whole series about upgrading your confidence to upgrade your life. So I will leave the previous videos linked below and make sure you subscribe for the future ones. I hope this was helpful. Definitely let me know in the comments below which area, which topic, which tip do you feel like you need to work on most, because it's really interesting for me to know where you are all at. And I really appreciate you. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. I almost choked on my own saliva. Oh my God. I love you all so much. And I will of course see you in the next video. Bye guys.